Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the various video lectures that you can be able to make. The number one video lecture that you can make, and the simplest one, is a situation where you have a whiteboard, you have a camera, and you go and write on the whiteboard as the camera runs. And then at the end of it, you get a video lecture. In such a case, your students are able to see what you write on the whiteboard, and they are able to see you. And at the same time, they'll be able to hear you because you've got a microphone that captures the sound. Another type of video that you can be able to make is one where the students do not see you, they just see part of you. Maybe they just see a hand which is writing on the whiteboard, or maybe you're writing on a foolscap or some kind of writing space. In such a case, you have focused your camera in such a way it just captures your writing space. It doesn't capture you as the teacher. Another type of video that you can be able to make is a situation where you capture the screen of your computer. Let's say you've prepared one or two slides and you want the students to be able to see exactly what you see. So the only thing you will do is to run your slides and add audio onto that, and it becomes a video. And of course, you can combine several of these. You can have a camera which captures the teacher, and it also captures your screen. I mean, you have a screen capture and you have an external camera which captures you. For instance, in this case, this particular lecture, you can see that the student is able to see me, at the same time see what I'm teaching him or her. I prefer this kind of lecture because it's you're able to make that important eye contact with your student, and the student is able to see with a lot of clarity what you want him or her to see. There are two things that are very important when you're making video lectures. One of these is the audio aspect of the video. The brain is quite good in putting clips of pictures. Even if the picture is not so good, the brain can put together those clips and make a story out of it. It's very good at that. So the brain can tolerate poor picture, but it cannot tolerate poor audio. So it's very important that if you've got to invest in any kind of hardware, make sure that it is a good microphone. And here I'm talking about a USB microphone, because those microphones do not require a lot of external power resources. They just get the power from your computer, and nearly all of them, in fact all of them, are such that they try to cut out as much noise as possible, because most of them are condenser microphones. For example, the microphone that I'm using right here is very popular in studio, especially in recording music. So it is highly condensed. It's a very good microphone because it cuts out a lot of external noise. So it's good that you invest in a good microphone, because the brain cannot tolerate a video that has got bad audio. Now, most cameras like webcams, or the cameras which come with the DSLR cameras or mobile phone cameras, their audio is not very good. In fact, some of them have got very good picture, but when you listen to the audio, it's terrible. So it is important that you learn how to include audio in your good audio in your video lecture. Now, when it comes to the picture aspect, although the brain can put clips together and make a story out of those clips, it's important to make sure that the picture is well lit and the colors are well saturated. Much of this comes in the editing of your video, but to begin with, when it comes to lighting, you must light your studio or your recording space. And remember, you don't have to have a special recording studio. You can do this right in your living room. I'm recording this while seated on my dining table. It's only that I've mounted a few lights here and there. And the lights that I'm using are homemade. So I'll be taking you through the process in which you can make some of these things. Because you'll agree with me that we see fantastic lights out there or hardware out there being sold, maybe or Amazon or something like that. But when you go to your local supplier, they don't have these gadgets. So you're forced to import. And sometimes in some countries, the process of importing some of these things is quite tedious. In my studio, for example, I've improvised the lights. I've designed these lights right from home because I couldn't get them in my local supplier. You may be in such a situation. There's some things which you can be able to improvise, there are others which you can't. You can't improvise a computer or a microphone or a webcam like this one. Those ones, you have to source them from some other point. But when it comes to lights, I can show you step by step on how I designed mine, and maybe you can go right ahead and do the same to your studio and it will just work out fine. But the aim of this video was to introduce to you the various ways in which you as a teacher can make video lectures. There are several ways. It all depends on personal preference and what you really have. Even when it comes to the audio, if you find yourself in a situation whereby you don't have a USB microphone, why don't you just make a video using the microphone that comes with the hardware, using the microphone that comes with the mobile phone, or using the microphone that comes with a webcam? It will just work out fine. But in the long run, you may have to start thinking about purchasing certain hardware which improve your video lectures. And one of them would be the microphone, a USB microphone. I'll be talking about some of the best microphones out there that you can be able to use. This is not the best. It is just what I can be able to afford for my studio. And I like talking about those things which I have actually done because I have an experience in using them. For example, when I talk about a microphone like this one, I will talk about what I've been able to do in order for it to capture very good audio. Because if you place it at a large distance away from yourself, then the audio that you get will not be so good, and it will either have echoes, it will be muffled, and it will not be good at all. So there are those things that I've been able to do on what I have in order to make sure that it works out well. So these are some of the things I'll be sharing with you in the next section, where I'll be talking about video lectures and how you can make video lectures if you are starting out just right from scratch, or if you've been having a few challenges here and there on how to make video lectures. I'll be sharing with you some of the methods that I've been able to use, and we see how we can be able to help each other out. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so that we can work together and help out each other with our creativity. You will agree with me, the methods of teaching are going to change, or they have already changed. And one of the ways, the direction that some of these methods have taken is online learning. And when we are talking about online learning, mainly it's about use of videos, besides other technical methods of teaching that may come along. But the simplest one that we can be able to use is make a video, put it on a platform, and then your student go to that platform and they play the same video and they learn a concept or two from you. So these are the things I'll be sharing with you. Moving forward from this point, I've got a series of videos that I'm going to create in order to show you step by step on how you create your first video lecture if you've never created one. And even if you have, you see how you can be able to improve on it in terms of the quality of the sound and the quality of the video that you put out there. So thank you very much for being with me in this particular video, where I shared with you the various ways that you can be able to use when you are creating your first video lecture.